Hello there. In today's video we are going to be talking about the DJI Mavic 2 Pro and specifically the new HQ mode. And what I wanted to do is explain what exactly that is and what DJI are specifically doing with the data and the camera at this mode. Before we get started, I would just like to say if you like what you see in this video, please do subscribe to the channel. There is a link in the bottom right hand corner of this video, and by clicking this you will receive updates on anything that we do in the future. Finally, there are some links in the description of this video to the products that you have seen. By using these links, you do support the channel and it does help us to purchase new products to talk to you about in the future. Okay, so just to get over some of the basics, the new Mavic 2 Pro from DJI has a 20 megapixel sensor. Now that sensor is 5544 pixels wide by 3694 pixels high. It's a 3x2 sensor and it is pretty much the same size and design as what you would see on any 1-inch censored camera, just like the Phantom 4 Pro, as well as what you see on the RX100 and things like that. If we compare that to the sensor that's been used on other aircraft, for instance the Mavic Pro as well as the Mavic 2 Zoom, you can see the 1.3 sensor at the bottom, and that is its size in comparison to the 1-inch 20 megapixel sensor used in the Pro. And as you can see, it is substantially larger than that smaller sensor. Before we move on, the one thing to understand is whilst this 20 megapixel sensor is all lovely and fantastic for stills, it does present some issues in video, and the reason is 4K resolution is actually only about 8 megapixels, and if we were to look at that against the sensor, it's 3840 by 2160 pixels. So if you see that image in the middle, that is the actual size of what the 4K video would be on the sensor. However, we have a lot more of that available. We have 5544 by 3694. So the first thing we need to understand is what they actually do. The process to reduce the image down is called downscaling. So you take the full image from the sensor and then pass that into the SoC on board the aircraft or in the camera. That then does the downscaling and then it outputs the video depending on the resolution you have chosen. So in this case we can see it's outputted to 4K Ultra HD 3840 by 2160. Now, there is a huge amount more I could talk about with regards to what data they actually take from the sensor, because the sensor is actually 3x2 and the output is 16:9, so they don't quite take the full sensor. They actually crop it top and bottom but take the full width. However, that isn't relevant to this. The thing to understand is the processor takes the full image from the sensor, downscales it, makes it smaller and puts it out to the resolution you have set. Now there are a number of methods of doing this downscaling and it's all handled mostly by the SoC, and as you can see I've put the Umbrella H1 here. This can be done in a number of methods. The first is called pixel binning, the second is line skipping, and the third is sampling or subsampling. The output results is heavily dependent on the method of downscaling chosen and the ability of that SoC. For instance, pixel binning, which is done between the sensor and the SoC, is the easiest to do but produces the worst results, and sampling is the hardest to do but produces the best results. Now, if we take something like the Panasonic GH5, it does an absolutely fantastic job of taking this full-size image and dropping it down to 4K resolution because it's doing sampling. However, the processor on board these aircraft isn't powerful enough to be able to do that, so they do use other methods, and with all of these methods there are drawbacks, and the downscaling with sampling produces very few. However, when you do it with the other ones, it does do some destructive to the image, and they are called destructive methods of downscaling. And the downside to that is with pixel binning and line skipping, for instance, you can get a loss of detail, aliasing, and various digital artifacts in the image. So whilst taking a full image and pushing it down to a smaller size is the simplest method, depending on how you do it depends the results you get. So to get around this, DJI introduced the new HQ mode to be able to give you just a bit better image out of the aircraft, and they do this as follows. Rather than take the whole image and downscale it, they look at just a 4K section of your sensor's image size. So if you look, we're taking just the 3840 by 2160 pixels from the middle of the sensor. This section is then put back into the SoC. However, it is not downscaled. It is simply processed, put in its container for HD 4K, and put out at the resolution it's taken at. We call this 1-to-1 pixel output, so you take the same size in and the same size out. The advantage to this is there's no onboard processing, or I should say far less onboard processing with no downscaling. The result of this is you get much better video quality out because you're not doing the downscaling on the SoC. So there are no aliasing. You should get more detail compared to the destructive methods of downscaling like line skipping and especially pixel binning. Overall, using high quality subsampling or sampling of the full image sensor would produce better image quality when done correctly, like for instance done on the GH5. However, it is extremely processor intensive, so doing this crop of the center of the image at 1-to-1 pixel output will give the best possible output whilst we have limited processing availability on these aircraft. There are, however, some downsides to doing this, and those downsides are field of view. If we look at this image, the Mavic 2 Pro has a standard field of view of 77 degrees, and it has the same field of view of all images. So it is how wide an image the aircraft sees through the lens. So you can see the sensor at the bottom, and you can see through the lens, it's able to see that size of image on the beach, for instance. The downside to taking a cropped image from the sensor is that it reduces the field of view. So if we look at the bottom here, you can see we're taking a 4K section from the middle of the sensor, and if you look, you can see that the available field of view for the camera is reduced because the image size we're taking from the sensor is smaller. In this mode, it takes only a 55-degree field of view from the aircraft, so you're actually getting a reduced output. Now obviously this image is exaggerated, it doesn't lose quite as much as I'm showing here, however it gives you the idea. If you take a cropped section of the sensor, what you then do is reduce the amount of available image that it's able to capture. So in field of view mode, you get, as I said, 75 degrees of field of view in all resolutions. So it doesn't matter if you're doing 720p, 1080p or 4K, because you're taking that full sensor data and downscaling it. No matter which one you downscale it to, the field of view will remain identical. HQ mode only gives you 55 degrees of view, and the reason for that is you're taking only that exact 4K pixel size from the middle of the sensor, and because you're taking a smaller slice of the sensor, you're getting a reduced field of view. Overall, HQ mode will offer much improved image quality because you're not doing all of that destructive processing. However, it is at the expense of reduced field of view as well as gaining a little bit of noise in the shadows. And the reason for that is it's not processing out that noise in the SoC. Overall, it should give you much less processing artifacts like sharpening, moire and processing errors that you get from the codecs, and especially the downscaling process when using the camera. The thing to be aware of with HQ mode is that it is available in both H.264 and H.265. One last thing I just wanted to mention on this was if you take the size of that HQ mode 4K, it's still larger than the available sensor area on the Mavic Pro and the Mavic 2 Zoom model. So whilst you're only taking a smaller center section of the sensor, that area is still larger than the overall area you have available on the 1.5.3 sensors. So it is still a large area compared to those models. Finally, I wanted to talk a little bit about the 10-bit D-Log-M color profile. Now, this was introduced by Hasselblad alongside the Mavic 2 Pro, and it is something those guys have been working on. Now, the first thing to note is it only works in H.265 or HEVC, and the reason for this is the H.264 codec doesn't have the available profile needed. They need to use the H.265 profile 110, which allows them to get that extra color data into it. So whilst you can use it in HQ and non-HQ mode, you do actually have to be in HEVC stroke H.265 to be able to use it. Finally, that is it for this video. First of all, I would appreciate it if you liked what you've seen. Please do subscribe to the channel. There are also some links in the description of this video that allow you to support the channel by purchasing products you have seen. It's only by purchasing these that allows us to buy more and hopefully give you guys the information like I've done today that you seem to like. Thank you very much for watching, and I will do another video again soon.